Privilege and honor to welcome President RFI, Dr. Reshu Jain ma'am, Chief Guest Duru Regina Nigoji ma'am from Nigeria, Resource Person and Guest Mrs. Garima Verma from Delhi NCR, Surprise Guest Mrs. Madhuwala ji from Delhi NCR, Invited Guest Mrs. Jyoti from Rajasthan, Patron Mrs. Daksha from USA. I welcome Team RFI and participants along with senior officers of RFI. You have given me life and showed me the light, taught the strength to fight and difference of wrong to right. When there are problems, you always stay and pick me up along the way. Show your support. Come what may, do everything to make it fade away. May you have a happy Mother's Day. I will always be proud to say you are the best of the most and the top of the rest. On this auspicious day of mothers, I would like to invite Mrs. Dr. Reshu Jain ma'am to start the webinar and to say the few words regarding this Mother's Day celebration and regarding the activities of RFI. Please welcome Dr. Reshu Jain ma'am. Madam, are you there? Reshu Jain ma'am, are you there? Okay, I think due to some technical issue. In between that, I would like to invite one little baby girl who are somewhat naughty, charming, and intelligent from class 3rd from the school Indus Valley Public School. I would like to invite Miss
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alankiti.
अरे उसको बोलते हैं
Today I'm gonna sing a song. Name is Mother's Day.
Okay, beta.
It's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Here's all the gifts I give to you on this Mother's Day. I will clean my room and make my bed Put my toys away. I'll be good just for you on this Mother's Day. Thank you.
Very good, Peter.
Thanks, Alankruti, for this lovely poem on this auspicious Mother's Day. Now, Reshu ma'am, are you there? Please welcome Dr. Reshu Jain ma'am. Okay, okay. Now, to proceed further, I welcome Chief Guest Duru Regina Negoji, who is National Coordinator, Reggie and Henry Amazing Grace Foundation, Certified Counselor, Motivational Speaker, Gender and Anti-Human Trafficking Expert, and a caring mother from Nigeria. Please welcome Duru Regina Negoji ma'am. Please welcome Duru Regina Negoji ma'am.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Regina. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Happy Mother's Day to you.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day. Actually, in Nigeria, we had ours, but like mothers across the world will celebrate with you anytime you're celebrating. So I say good morning to all the participants. Lots of love from Nigeria, from my lovely husband, my children, from Reggie and Henry Amazing Grace Foundation. Thank you, Professor Ashok. Thank you, Dr. Rana. Thank you, Dr. Yon Raj. My name is Duru Regina Ngozi. I can see that you had difficulty pronouncing that name. It's Ngozi. Ngozi means blessing. Okay. And I congratulate all the mothers across the world and aspiring mothers and mothers' friends. I say congratulations to everybody. And it's with a great delight that I am here to present a little of what I have concerning our topic today, being parenting in COVID times. Then we're stepping it down to the role of mothers. But you want to know who is a parent? What is the role of a parent? Parenting, as the case is, you can also call it child rearing. To rear a child, that is the art of promoting and supporting the physical, emotional, the social, intellectual development of a child from infancy to adulthood. And I want to draw your attention that parenting is not exclusive to biological relationship. That means it mustn't be your biological child before you render such help to a child. You can rear a child that is not yours biologically from even infancy to adulthood. Then we know that there are different parenting styles. People rear their children in different ways. But I know that researchers have been able to do some justice by giving us 4 types of parenting style. We know we have the authoritarians. The authoritarians are authoritarian style is this kind of style where parents don't let the children say anything. Whatever they say is final. Where they say you can put it like an autocratic kind of parenting, where the children are meant to be seen and not to be heard. They obey without complaining, and they are meant to live under strict rules. And that is the authoritarian parenting. You have the permissive kind of style, where you think your children need to learn a little, need to learn with a little of your interference, with a little of your involvement. You think you can as well even set rules, but you don't enforce them. Plus minus, you're there and you're not there, kind of. And you're raising these children, it all affects them in one way or the other. We also have the uninvolving parenting. You don't just want to interfere. You think the child can grow all by himself and raise himself or herself. You don't want to get involved. You don't want to interfere. And now we have the authoritative. Authoritative. I can tell you this is a kind of a sharp contrast to the authoritarian. The authoritative parenting, you put in a lot to raise these children. You put in a lot to create the positive mindset in them. You maintain a positive relationship with your child. These parents invest a lot of time and energy into preventing behavioral problems. They find a way of having a reward system in place to see that these children are meant to grow well. They find a strategy to reinforce good behavior. They try to praise them where they do well. They try to reward them one way or the other when they do well. And these kind of children, when they are finally raised, you can see that they are usually very successful. They are very evaluative and they take responsibility for their action. And I tell you, like I say, it's the sharp opposite of the authoritarian. The authoritarian that is very strict is a sharp opposite. I can say the authoritarian is the kind of style that our parents had, they raised us with. Where they say go, you go. Where they say come, you come. You don't have any, you don't complain, you don't make any contribution. Where they say sleep, you force yourself asleep. When they say wake, you wake. But the authoritative is where we are today, raising our children with empathy, trying to listen to them when there's need. They have suggestions to make. You allow them raise, even interfere in issues that concerns them, make contributions, make amends, allow them take some level of responsibility. Now, there are so many other things apart from this parenting. We're talking about a parenting in this time of COVID-19. In this time of COVID-19, even that parenting is already a whole tasking job. You know that parenting is a whole is very tasking and is a project of many years. I can tell you, giving birth to a child, you know, you have just raised the project. Like my husband will always say, he said, this one is a project of not less than 22 years. It's not a small joke. So in a time like this, even with all the tasking nature of parenting, in this COVID-19, it gives you additional work to do, additional tasks to carry on, added to the ones you've been doing before. In this time, you're expected to share more information with the children. Share more information, share information. Most of them don't know what we're talking about. COVID, in this time of COVID, is a very serious menace. Very serious. They need to know, how did it come about? How is it ravaging the whole world like this? I know in India right now is very, very high in India. So we need to let our children get all the necessary information they can get, up-to-date information, not belated info, up to date, which means you must be on your toes, always giving information, and also getting ideas across to them. And you also need to create a great manner of awareness among them, sensitize them, let them know why they are passing through this and why it is like this. Can you hear me? Okay, so let them know why let them know why they are passing through this. Spend a lot of time with the children. If you're working at home, a lot of people are not working at home, though it's not for us in Nigeria. We go to work, we come back, but it's good to let them know that in a time like this, they need to do this, they need to do that. There are so many things they need to do. They need to a great extent, you teach them and enforce some safety measures like constant washing of hands, the use of sanitizers, the use of nose masks. You let them know. If you don't let them know, nobody lets them know. So I think you help them go through, because suddenly you're not playing with your friends anymore. You are not playing with your friends anymore. You're meant to be at home, or in school, you're meant to sit at a particular desk. You're not expected to cross over and play with your friends, having body contacts the way you used to. It's a lot of stress for the children and a lot of stress for the parents. So it would be nice to help them go through this stress as a parent. Let them understand why they're going through and let them know there's hope after now. Then the psychological aspect of it, you help them balance it and see that they are trying to cope and do the much they can. So with this, from parenting now, I want to go down to the role of a mother. The role of a mother. We're celebrating the International Mother's Day. Well, who is a mother? You need to know who is a mother. Are all females mother? Who is a mother? A mother is a female parent, a protector, a disciplinarian, and a friend. A selfless, loving personality. Mother makes sacrifices for her children, for their wants and for their needs. She toils so hard. I know that even if I'm not saying this, even the male, if they ask you, who is a mother, you even describe more than I'm doing now. Mother is indescribable. A mother goes through a lot. She goes through a lot. She equips her children with knowledge and life skill to make them competent. To make them competent. And they are doing so much. Now, I can share experience being a mother. I'm a mother with children, loving children and a husband. I tell you, it's not easy raising my children. Like one of them is even here with me saying, come and say hello to the world, to India. They are just waking up from sleep. This is AM in Nigeria. Are you seeing her? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We can see
Are
you.
you seeing her?
Hello.
Hello to India.
Hello. How far?
Hello.
Say good morning.
Good
So
morning,
I know
Bacha.
in India, what is the greeting again in India? What's the greeting again in India? So she's saying hello. All right.
Hi, how are you?
Yes. So I can share experience, my personal experience. Raising children is not joke, It's like denying yourself so much to be able to produce so much. Mothers, we get worried whether when we want it, we don't want it. We get so much worried. We try to do so much for our children. When they are sick, you are awake. When they are sick, as if your life is almost ending. When you don't want anything to happen to them, you didn't create them, but you want the way you possess ownership. I think it is even from that bondage of having them, carry them in the womb. Carrying them. There's so much bond between mother and child. For anybody who is who is even a hardcore emotionless person feels something for his mother. So I tell you, motherhood is such experience that I wish everybody could pass through it and also have it. It's not until you have a biological child, you can adopt a child. You can show this motherly love else to somebody else, to a child. There are so many of them in the streets. There's so much, so much. I remember a time during the COVID when it was so intense in Nigeria. That was like May last year, April, May last year. I remember a woman calling from one of the slums where we work. That, by the way, from the introduction, you are told I coordinate an organization called Reggie and Henry Amazing Grace Foundation. We're based in Nigeria. We work in the slums, in communities. We work with children, women in the areas of education, life skills, training and empowerment, human capital development. We do so much in anti-human trafficking, in gender-based violence. There's so much we do there. So in that COVID time, a woman called me around 1 a.m. one night, and she was just asking from me because, there was lockdown too in Nigeria. Everybody was at home and there was so much hunger everywhere. A woman called me to say, please, ma'am, can you assist me with a cup of rice for my child, for my 3-year-old child? A 3-year-old child, she said she's not just concerned about herself and the elderly ones. She's only concerned about this one so that she does not die because she knows her strength might fail her, that she has not eaten for 2 days. And I tell you, with that call, I lost my sleep, I lost my peace. And what did we do? As a mother, I know that my children at home will have stocked the house, will have bought this, will have bought that, we bought things in excess to be able to preserve ourselves. But there were others outside. But with that call, I lost all my peace. I lost even the thirst for the things I bought. I no longer want to eat them. And what did we do? We had to reach out. We had to reach out as a foundation. We had to reach out to family and friends who helped us to gather things and foodstuff, materials, sanitizers, nose masks, so much that we had to go visit the slum, visit and did a palliative, create awareness for them to even know what is happening. Because government was giving information on television, but I tell you, poverty has made it that most of these people in the slum don't have that were in the time of COVID, and this is what I expected from them. This is how they do their personal hygiene. We did all this, gave them food, apart from running the foundation as the national coordinator. I am a mother. I know what they are going through. I know what they need, even friends, and we're able to do that. So that is one example of motherhood. A mother will not watch her child cry because of hunger and she does not make a move. No, I have yet to see that kind of mother. I'm yet to see that kind of mother. So motherhood is a wonderful experience. Sometimes you don't know how to put it together. Sometimes you just share it. You don't know how to put it even together because there's so much that is not captured under motherhood that I see even online. People say what they feel, what they like, but there's so much from experience that that is not online. So I tell you, from my own experience as a mother, even from the kind of parenthood styles I've discussed with you, I see myself as an authoritative parenting. That is, I told you that authoritative parenting is the exact opposite of the authoritarian. The authoritarian is very strict. The children must be heard and must be seen and not be heard. But in the case of the authoritative, my children, I listen to them when there is need. In fact, I adopt the method of carrot and stick. I reward you when you have done well. I punish you when you have done well, and I done well wrong, and I let you know why you are punished. And I try to see that you make amends. I take care of them I don't over pamper them. I expose them to life skills skills on time. You know, there's one mistake that parents always make. If they had come from a poverty or a poor background, they say maybe they have suffered so much to go to school, and at a time like this, they don't want. Maybe God has blessed them and they have resources at their hands. They say they don't want their children to go through what they have gone through. They don't want their children, want to expose them to learning anything. They just want them to enjoy. They just want them to enjoy all the good things of life. But I tell you, you can't train a child like that. You can't bring up a child like that. A child had to be exposed to so many diverse aspects of life. This life is too deep. If you show a child only the rosy aspect of child, the child's mentality goes with rosy, rosy, rosy. He cannot accept hardship. He cannot accept challenge. But if a child knows that this is this, he's asking for maybe like a chocolate of 10,000, and you can't afford it. Even if you can afford it, you don't give him. But when you know that there are other good ones for 200 naira or 200, let me say rand, that's what you call it over there, isn't it? Now, so instead of 10,000 rand, you buy a chocolate of 200 rand. They are still chocolates. They are still going to serve the same purpose anyway. But you're trying to let that child know that you can't just have everything you say. Everything, you have to find a way of knowing what do you need and what do you want. You know, so there's so much that a mother needs to do. A mother needs to do so much to be able to keep the children doing well. So in the role of a mother is also intertwined in the personality of a mother. Well, because you say, okay, a role of the mother, okay, she will love her children unconditionally with all her heart, even without nobody telling her. As soon as she knows she's pregnant, she's already loving the child. She has not seen the face of the child. She's already loving the child. That's why it's usually very painful for women to lose their children. Very painful. Whether they lose them as miscarriage, or they lose them as stillbirth, or they lose them as already children or adult, it is very painful for them because they love unconditionally. They give all their all. They love them without looking back. Women, one of another of their roles should be to understand their children. When a child knows that you understand him or her, he attracts some kind of a trust from that child. Yeah, you love me, you have shown me that you love me, then the child trusts you. I trust that my mother is doing this for my because she loves me. I know she knows that I trust her to the point that it is not no, she cannot argue over it, that whether you love her or not. The mother is expected to nurture her children. This is one of the areas of specialties of women. If you listen to, there's a Nigerian song, though the artist is later. I think that song was released in 1973 or so by one late Nico Mbauga. For those of you who understand English, in that song, he says "Sweet Mother," and he broke it down in our local pidgin English. He said, "I no go forget all the good things when you do for me." Translating to me, I will never forget all the things you have done for me. He was able to narrate, saying when he's sick, his mother runs up and down. If he's hungry, his mother is unsettled until food is provided. So to say to nurture their children is not even nurturing only in food. You nurture them in attitude. Some children are very attitudeless. You see, when you see a child outside, he behaves somehow. If it's in African adage here, if a child behaves well, is the child of the father. If he does not behave well, is the child of the mother. Which means women have a greater percentage here to try to see how they nurture the attitude of their children. You nurture them with food, you nurture them with attitude, you nurture them with even their personality. If you don't nurture their personality, you will discover that they grow anyhow. And when they grow anyhow, they disgrace you when they are grown up. So women are like watchdog over their children. They are a role model for their children. What they see you do is what they do, even without you telling them. If you pray a lot, your children pray a lot. If you dress decently, your children dress decently. You can't dress well and your child is dressing half naked. Here in Nigeria, you will see that I'm sure it's across. In Nigeria here, we're used to a traditional kind of dressing before now. We dress very, very well. We dress very well. We try to cover our bodies. It's part of our culture here. But I tell you, in recent time, women, mothers, so-called mothers, are competing with their children of going naked. Going naked. You see them, their boobs are out. You see them wearing very skimpy things. When I say they are role models, if you see a mother like this, what do you expect of her child? Her child dresses like that is not a problem. It's not a problem at all. You're a role model. If your child see you that you lie, they lie wantonly. If you're not, they know you that you're not a liar. And anytime they lie, you see some kind of uneasiness around them. You observe some kind of easiness around them. I am a Christian. Even that this program I'm running right now, I still need to go to church. And I tell you that as a we know that you said teach the child. We have a portion of the Bible that says teach a child the way he should go, and that when he is old, he will not depart from it. What you teach a child today is what the child holds on to, and the child is child try to survive on it. That's why I say teach your children a life saving skill to be able to lean on when life becomes shaky, because life is not all rosy. So I tell you, another role of the mother, there are so many things that are happening that mothers are not even paying attention to. I know that the times are hard. Mothers are beginning to go out to work, unlike before. Before, they were just at home. They sit at home, they take care of the home, do all the chores at home. Now, mothers do go out to also look for money. They look for money. They also come back to expect to do the same whole things they are supposed to do as mothers. And it's so tasking. So sometimes as humans, you're not able to meet up. In fact, there's no how you will meet up. There's no how you will meet up. So, but I want to call attention of mothers to some areas, especially in Nigeria during that COVID-19. I also had those information. I got some news about India. You know, there were high incidences of gender-based violence during that COVID, that lockdown, especially in Nigeria. We have so many. I work with a network of network against child trafficking, abuse, and labor. And in that network, we got a lot of information, a lot of cases. There were people who were abusing their sisters, some were abusing sexually or molestations, some were abusing their daughters. There were incidences. But I tell you that these cases, mothers are supposed to look out for. In fact, sometimes as a matter of reality, sometimes mothers are the first to learn about these abuses, gender-based violence in their home. Sometimes they are the first to learn about it. And they are the first to know that this their daughter is being abused, or this their word is being abused. What do? Sadly enough, they look away. Why do they look away? They can't believe. They are walking around unbelief. They can't believe this abuser is either their husband or their son or their brother or their father. Why? Why will it be? You are a watchdog for your family. The women look away. They look away to protect their marriage. They look away. They look away to protect their relationship. They don't want people to know about it. They want to avoid being stigmatized that her daughter was raped by her father, or her daughter was sexually molested by her uncle, or her sister, or her brother. No, you are a voice for your family. Get help for that child. In fact, during that COVID time, there was a little child in Lagos, Nigeria. If you know Lagos, Lagos is the capital city of Nigeria. Sorry, not the capital city of Nigeria, but a mega city of Nigeria. Just like you have Mumbai, just like you have Delhi. So India, Lagos is the capital. So a woman daughter was abused. She was abused, and she was like that baby was like I think like 5 or 6 years. You know, when it got to the public view, and a lot of people criticized the woman, but the worst the woman could do was to bring out that child, started hauling at her, calling her small ashawo. Ashawo is like a local word here for a sex worker. Imagine a mother calling her a 5-year-old daughter a little ashawo, little prostitute, little sex worker. That where were you? You'll be moving up and down from street, from room to room. That was why they raped you. She was hauling ashawo. In fact, the equivalent of what she did is like what I see in your films. When somebody misbehaves in your community, I see you bring like charcoal and rub the person's face, like a form of disgrace. That is the equivalent of what she did to that 5-year-old girl. What does this girl know? Has she behaved well as a mother? Has she played her role as a mother? Is that what she needs to do to be able to see how this child gets justice, or how this child is at least taken care of medically? She was taking the child around the street, calling her, hauling at her, ashawo, ashawo. Mothers will need to do so much. There's so much happening. I'm just going to talk about this gender-based violence and talk about the trafficking going on. Apart from gender-based violence happening in our homes, that most mothers are not talking about. They rather die in the marriage in the hand of the abuser than getting justice. I am not canvassing for divorce, but I think there should be separation. If you think you're being molested, you have to be alive to be somebody's wife. You have to be alive to be a mother. If you die today, if your husband kills you by violence, you die today. I'm telling you, if he loves you that much, it won't be up to 3-4 years. He marries another. And if he marries another, naturally the woman wants to have her own children. And if she has her own children, automatically the children you left behind is they are all natural housemaid for her. So I tell you, you have to be alive to be a mother. Teach your children the saving skills. And you as a mother, you think you're not safe. Let somebody know. There are a lot of networks. Let your family know. I had a case of a neighbor sometime. The husband was almost killing her, and she was always keeping it from her family until at the night that she was almost going to die. It took the intervention of my husband and myself to be able to rescue her from the man, got police involved. And as well, my husband being a psychologist, he ran some therapy on her, enabled her to be able to open up. And when she opened up, it was a can of worms. She has been abused, violated over and over and over in that same compound. And each time this wife beater does this, he closes her mouth. You don't hear anything, no air come out of the mouth until he beats her to the point she becomes a pup. So the saving grace became that my husband using therapeutic psychological skill to make her open up, to tell her what she has been passing through. And with that, we got her family involved. But I tell you, they are still living today, but there's a great change. At least he now knows that the family knows. So he's at alert. He doesn't want the family to come into the relationship. So there's some caution, kind of. So I tell you, mothers, there's so much for us to do. You need to be alive. Part of your role is that you need to be alive. You need to be alive for your children. And I want to also bring some little bit of this issue of human trafficking. There's trafficking. I know that India is as populated as Nigeria. There's a lot of trafficking. They are trafficking from where there's population. They are trafficking from where there's this endangered species. Of course, there's poverty in India, just like Nigeria too. So I think mothers will, like the watchdog I said earlier, there's need for us to be able to be at alert when people come to, because of what people are giving out their children willingly. So people, they don't know very well. They say they'll come and meet them and say they are looking for assistance. Please, let's help you train this child. Let's help you educate this child. I know an auntie I can give this child, and they train this child. It is not true. When they traffic your children turn to commodity. I call human trafficking, no matter what the definition is, for me, Azuru Regina Ngozi, Human trafficking is the commoditization of human being. When I say commoditization, I'm taking it from the word of commodity. Commoditization of human being for exploitation purposes. Why do I say so? Once your children leave your hand, they are no longer those children you pamper, you want to keep. You don't. A lot of things happen there. If you look at videos going across it, in fact, there are some in Libya, they put people for sale, they put price tag on people, and they are selling them online. I'm sure that one or two of you have come across it. You see child bride, a lot of child bride, they get them from Asia, from India, even from Nigeria. There are people they use for sexual exploitations. A lot of them they get from Nigeria and elsewhere too. There are people they use for servitude, for forced labor. So many things are happening. It's better you stay with that child. Go through the hunger. Try to get food for them at all costs, the much you can, than letting them out into the hand of a trafficker. A trafficker is a desperate exploiter. There is no pity, there's no sympathy for it. If you see what the other people's children go through in the hand of traffickers, you will not release your child to anybody you don't know. Even if you know, you follow up and know what is happening to that child. So I think there's so much for us to do. Then I cannot bring this sensitization, or rather this my talk to a close without tasking men. You know, when they say parents, like I told you in Africa, if the child does well, they say it's the child of the father. If he didn't do well, they say it's a child of the mother. But I tell you, parenting is a win-win for everybody, for husband and for wife. You know, I'm talking about the typical parenting, traditional parenting that we know that when we say parents, we're talking of father and mother, a adult female and adult male. And I'm not talking about maybe homosexuals that want to adopt children and say they're parents to a child. I'm not talking about men who are now going through so many processes to see how they carry pregnancy and give birth. I see one who has given birth to the fourth child, a man carrying pregnancy. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about parental, traditional parenting. So that traditional parenting now, I want to tax men. Mine is to talk about the role of the mother, but I want to tax men, trusting that in this program that somebody can talk about what men can do as their role in a successful parenting. I want to tax men to get involved. Get involved. If you remember when I was talking about different styles of parenting, I talk about the authoritarian, I talk about the uninvolved, I talk about the permissive. The uninvolved parenting, most men are guilty of this. Once they know, what they know is that most of them bring money for this, bring money for that, and they go away. They don't ask you. They don't know anything about their children. Most of them don't even know the class. The class, which class is their child in an institution. They don't know. All they know is that they are bringing money. You call for PTA meeting, parent teachers association, you won't see him. If you ask the child anything, the child is going to the mother, always running around the mother, hiding around the mother to say anything. Most men have possessed themselves like masquerades. If you know masquerades, in Africa, you see masquerades. Children and people are usually fearful about the masquerade. Most men, most male parents have turned themselves like that. But I can also give it to some. There are some I'm seeing some very little improvement in that area. Men getting involved. I can give kudos to my own husband, loving husband. He does so much when it comes to parenting. He is fully on ground, not absent husband, fully on ground. If you don't, please give kudos to my husband, give kudos to him. So I use him like a role model to other men. I task them in this time of Mother's Day to get fully involved in what they are doing. Then I also have advice for women. I want women to return to the original role they are known for. They are known for original role. Even in our films, you can see how nudity is celebrated. Even recently in Indian films, I know that Indians have traditional ways of dressing, of their long skirts, of their saris. They dress, they cover up. But these days, I'm seeing them with very skimpy things. Very skimpy things. I don't know Indians like this. Just like I see, it's also amazing for me in Nigeria here. So I call the women to go back to the traditional form of dressing and asserting their roles as mothers, not house girl role, not assigning your roles to the house girl. Some just have house help left, right, and center. They have house help for cooking. They have house help for cleaning. They have house help for making their. No, I am talking about getting in charge once more. Being in charge. We know that we're trying to balance being a traditional and a modern woman. You know, working like I do a lot of work. I do a lot of work. I work in so many places, and I try to also come back to play my role in the house. So I encourage everybody to try to take up our responsibility and see how we can raise our children to become who we want them to be and who we're pleased with having. With this, I bring this my part to a close. But I want to thank you all again for really having me. It's really fulfilling for me. The opportunity given to me, I didn't take for granted. I'm very happy about it, to actually be interacting with you. Beauty of technology. You're how many millions of miles away, but we can talk. So Professor Ashok, Dr. Rana, Dr. Yonraj, I say thank you very much. And for the whole participants, it's really wonderful having you. I know I'm seeing about 37 of us. I am very delighted to be in your midst. So good morning again and love from Nigeria. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable words and time. You prove your name, blessing. You gave us blessing and tell us about who is the parent, role of parents, and how to get rid of on this pandemic situation and protect ourselves from COVID. Thank you, ma'am, once again. Thanks for your valuable time. Mother's Day is a celebration honoring the mother of the family as well as motherhood, maternal bonds, and the influence of mothers in society. Now, I would like to call upon resource person and guest, Mrs. Garima Verma, who is a people development HR professional with 17 years of experience. She has had various roles and assignments with large organizations like Aon, Dell, IBM, Ericsson, Times, NIIT, Genpact, Bank of America, Wipro, etc. Her work revolves around transformational programs to enhance the efficiency, affinity, engagement, connections, collaborations, creativity, empathy, and rationality in people. She is playing a leadership role in the spiritual organization DVC in the Grand Mission Project Yug Parivartan. Currently, she is head of HR with an edtech startup, data trained in Delhi NCR. Her spiritual experiences started when she was 9, and ever since, she has been exploring, learning, and teaching subjects like relationships, consciousness, growth, self-awareness, creativity, emotions, energy, healing, etc., and many more to say. To sum it up, she is a mother, people's person, life coach, motivational speaker, NLP practitioner, transcendental meditation practitioner, feminine awakening teacher, and self-actualization seeker. Please, Garima ma'am, please take the session to proceed further. Over to you, Garima ma'am.
Thank you, Vibhuti. It was
My
awesome
pleasure.
for introducing me at such great lengths. I really am humbled. Thank you, everyone who
You
has
deserve it, ma'am.
taken out time to be here on this Sunday morning celebrating the togetherness of International Mother's Day today. So, wishing you on the onset, everyone, a very happy International Mother's Day. and respecting and bowing to the mother element in all of us, regarding if we are a mother or a father or not even a parent. Everybody has that element, that instinct of mother already given by God. So thank you very much. I really want to thank you also, Duru, for bringing such powerful, energetic insights in the subject of parenting, in the subject of safety, in the subject of women across borders. And I'm really glad that you were able to draw a lot of comparisons between how India and Nigeria are similar in a lot of aspects related to relationships, motherhood, styles of parenting, safety, trafficking, etc. So thank you very much for setting such a powerful and a very, very relevant tone, giving this kind of awesome opening to the core topic of today. Thank you, Regina. Duru, I hope you're doing good, and regards from India to all of you and your loved ones and everyone in Nigeria as well. Thank you very much. So, of course, the topic for today is around motherhood, and we cannot really bifurcate very clearly who is the important one of the two parents when it comes to raising a child, whether it's a mother or a father. However, there are certain things which are there in a certain way, which is given by God, like that, and that basically sets the tone of a relationship between a mother and a child. So I'm going to focus on certain things that we can highlight about being a mother and the role that it plays in the life of a child. And then I'm going to basically also share how we should really be looking at parenting as a subject. What is the right way of being a mother or conducting yourself as a mother? Is there a right way after all? So, yeah, going on to that, I actually made a presentation, but I'm going to just skip sharing the presentation so we can all see each other. I'm going to just share as it is my thoughts. So mothering styles have been, led down by the Psychological Society of UK in these five types of categories called as perfectionist, unpredictable, the best friend mother, the me first mother, and the complete mother, the complete one in many aspects, which we can call a wholesome, holistic mother that can bring the best of all the styles into one. So one by one, if we can just go through the five styles of, mothering a child. First of all, of course, a perfectionist mother is someone. So how beautifully also Duru has pointed out, it is intertwined. Who you are as a mother or as a human being, if we take one step back from being a mother, one step back is being a human being. So who you are as a human being defines who you are as a mother, defines who you who your child is going to really become. So it is all what I call a ripple effect, and everything starts from the center of you as a human being. How you pass it on from one to the other layer of your existence. So from being the person that you are, to being the mother that you are, to being the parent that you are, to raising the child the way you're raising, and your child becoming who he is because of what the kind of human being you are. So it all is like intertwined, and it's a journey that we all live and pass on our patterns, our habits, our belief systems from generation to generation. So a perfectionist mother, as you can hear in the name, is basically over controlling mother who has always either lived a life of a perfectionist in her performance or has always desired a life of a perfectionist. So it could be either of the two extremes, I would say. If somebody has always been praised for their work, have always been, performing over the standards, and have always given excellent results, obviously create that expectation from their child as well. So, in the want of getting the similar results that they have been able to deliver in the past, they become over controlling. The fear of their child not performing as well as them grows by the day. So anxiousness levels increase. And hence, in the top behaviors, those expectations start to happen. It starts to appear in everything that that mother is going to do. So that innate expectation from self has been completely passed on to the child. So her children tend to be a bit hypercritical of themselves. You will see in some children who are never satisfied with their performance. Although on one side it is a good thing that you should be able to look at the next level of performance. However, if a child has a pattern that they're not happy with their performance ever, we really have to go back and look at the roots. And most of the times the roots are going to lie with either of the parents. Again, in more circumstantial evidences prove that it is more in the case of mothers. So this is where the feeling of being inadequate starts to generate in children. Now imagine the kind of intent that the mother has. The intent of the mother is for her to make her children perfect, outstanding, successful in whatever they do. But what did she really end up doing? She ended up expecting those similar patterns and ended up making their child feel inappropriately inadequate, even emotionally. So, but the strength of this kind of mother is that she generates a strong sense of commitment in her children. That's something which is good. Like, we can never say every side has two coins, so we can never say that it's all bad to be a perfectionist mother. But let us pick up something great from a perfectionist mother, which is her sense of commitment that she teaches to her children. Well, she forgets where she's going overboard. So, this is where we are. Now, the second type of mother is the unpredictable mother, and I'm going to directly relate it with the situation we are all in today, the situation of pandemic and COVID. It's not the mother that's unpredictable. Somehow, even the whole ecosystem has become a bit unpredictable for all of us, and we're all living in some sort of state of chaos and confusion. And of course, mothers also get impacted by the same. So, anxiousness, anger, excessive emotions, overwhelming feelings also start to become a part of her parenting or mothering style. Now, especially in these times, my suggestion to all mothers who are listening, to all mothers who will listen to this broadcast later, is to go back to your roots and give appropriate care and emotional balancing to yourself. We have to understand it's not just that we have to rely on the researches that are being carried on around the world, how a mother impacts the child, the roots of which go to the time when the mother conceives the child in the womb. That connection starts from there. So, given that as a base, let us value that our state of emotions, our patterns, our understanding of the situation of the pandemic is very, very important so that we can pass on the right things to the child. So please go back, take time for yourself in this busiest times, in a very, very long time that we have seen, as the entire planet is dealing with this kind of situation. You will have to take out time for yourself, to calm yourself down, to move a bit inward, look inside. What are your fears? Talk to your fears, bring them on the table, bring your apprehensions on the table, talk to someone about it, create a circle of friends, create a social network, create people who you can rely on, and talk to them so that your fears, your anxiety, your own state of confusion becomes a bit settled. And the minute you start settling into this situation, you will be equipped to settle your children as well into this. So, with this whole situation, it is not only your responsibility, you are definitely, it is your duty to come back to your roots, give time to yourself, your own grooming of your body, of your heart, emotions. Focus on your relationships. If you have a spouse, if you have parents or siblings or friends you can be around, talk to, and create a network of security, network of love and belongingness, you will be totally all right and be completely equipped with the tools and techniques you need to take care of your child's well-being as well. So that unpredictable mother has to become a little bit predictable, please, because if a child sees that pattern of unpredictability and a constant confusion and fear, I see sometimes, of course, the whole world is facing this situation, but as families, sometimes we're just sitting in front of children and talking about the whole situation and the ugliness of the situation, the death toll, and this person died and that person died and this person is in the ICU, and we just forget because it is so concerning for all of us as families, as a unit, as parents, that we just forget that we may not have to do it in front of the children in this way. And I agree with you, Duru, that we have to keep our children informed. And I was going to talk about that right after this, is that it is very important that these little children, doesn't matter if they're 5-year-olds or 25-year-olds, we have to be able to talk to them about what's happening in the world right now. They are much more confused, much more scared, much more tied down than we are. So let us make sure that the information about the pandemic, about COVID, the toll that it has taken on the world and our families and extended families, is presented to the child only on need to know basis and in the correct manner. So let us not forget that there is this child, or there are these children sitting in the next room with us, listening to everything, listening to the news. So be a little careful. That's one major tip that I wanted to share about, parenting in times of COVID. But however, definitely you will have to create a scenario where you can talk to your child about how they are feeling. How are they feeling? I have personally been fighting COVID for 2 weeks, and this morning was basically the end of my isolation, in the room. So I went out, and the first thing I did, I asked my own son, how is he feeling? So let's start from there. Let the child get the opportunity to speak up how they're feeling about this whole scary state. And yes, from that conversation where they talk about their fear, and believe me, if the child is not talking about the fear, he does not want to talk about the fear in front of you. Definitely there's fear. So please create an empathetic, open communication with the child so they can share exactly how they're feeling. And then, as a mother, from that state of how they're feeling, we take them upward towards showing them the hope, making sure that we show them the importance of praying for everyone's wellness, safety, and health. So we have to bring that curve upward. We don't have to leave the children there when they share their problems and fears, and the fact that they don't want to study online, or the fact that they don't like it anymore, and the fact that they're not able to play football, the fact that they're not able to see their friends. All right, we don't leave the child at that expression. We take them upward by telling them that this is going to end for sure, and you would appreciate their patience and flexibility with this. So not really leaving them there, definitely leaving them at the stage of hope. That's what we have to do. So this unpredictability in the times of COVID has obviously changed the way mothers have been around, of course. And then there's this next type of mother, the third type of mother that I want to talk about, is the best friend mother. She's the one that enjoys her children as equals. And I think every mother has every little bit of all of these styles. So that woman, that mother who treats the children as equals, as friends, but sometimes is very difficult for them to set the boundaries right. And I have personally experienced that as well. If you break the line of the mother and child, then the child, being the child, forgets where the boundaries are. So we have to, again, as mother, as the balancing force in the child's life, make sure that we set some boundaries. Whether the boundaries are very, very low, the thresholds can be low, but there has to be something set so that that's the line that should never be crossed. This mother basically also believes that her role as a mother is the most important role in her life, and that gives her the strength as well. So yeah, that's the third one. The fourth one is the me first mother, as defined by the Psychological Society of UK, is that one of the most prevalent mothering styles seen across the globe, as they have mentioned. Right. So what happens in these kind of mothers is they're unable to view their children as separate individuals, and they get very insecure and self-absorbed. They forget that once the child starts to grow, there has to be some kind of unplugging from the mother. It has to be, created. A system has to be created through which the child understands that he or she is an individual, and that sense of individuality helps children turn into people who can take effective decisions, who can live alone if required, who can lead things by themselves if required. So, as mothers, especially in this time of COVID as well, we need to ensure that sense of independence and individualism is given to the child, despite the fact that all of us are logged together. We also have a lockdown happening in India as we speak, and it's the third week that we're in the third wave of lockdown. So we don't know when this is going to end. So despite the physical boundaries diminishing right now, we're all in the same space, sharing rooms, sharing common areas, exactly being about a meter or two away from each other, sleeping on the same bed and eating, together on the same table. Given the diminishing physical boundaries, sense of individualism doesn't occur to the human mind. But we have to constantly remember that we raise children who can independently do things, go out in the world, because the world is not going to remain in the lockdown forever. And we would definitely want our children to have that force through which they can do whatever they want in the world and achieve. And for that, definitely only children who have that sense of responsibility and individualism will be able to do that. So that's basically the me first mother. So on that note, I have something really beautiful that I'd like to share, said by one of the masters, spiritual leaders, Osho Rajneesh. And I'm going to read what he has said about this style of parenting. To improve yourself upon your children, to impose yourself upon your children is the worst thing that you can do as a parent. They are not going to live in the same times. They are not going to face the same problems as you. They will be a part of another world of future. Do not prepare them for this world, this society, this time, because then you will be creating troubles for them. They will find themselves unfit and unqualified. So, as a mother, we forget that the child we are raising is not going to really be a child forever. He's going to grow up, and he's going to grow up into the future. So a 10-year-old is going to actually take up a job at 25, which is 15 years from now. So much would have changed in technology, in the design of this, planet, in the way industries are working, in the way economy is. We don't know which country they're going to be a part of. What kind of industry will they choose to work in? Are they going to be an entrepreneur or a service professional or a social worker? We have no idea. So, what are we preparing them for? We are preparing them for the now, exactly what some of our parents would have done to us. So, always as a mother, again, I'm really moved by what Duru had said. Is as mother, there's so much to do, a lot of stuff needs to be done. So, we need to pull up our socks and really get there. So, please keep an eye on the future. Another thing I would like to say is that, and before I forget, I would like to wish my own mother, who's I think present in this meeting, very, very happy Mother's Day, and I love you a lot. Thank you for coming here to attend this talk. And my son is also watching, I think, from somewhere, I guess. So, coming back to this, I was having this very imperative discussion with one of my sisters yesterday, and she's basically leading a very creative or creative creation oriented school in Delhi, and we were talking about how the teaching is really evolving and changing. So I was so glad when she spoke about the fact that she is guiding every teacher, and most of the teachers in her school are females, are mothers, that we need to focus on not just diving deeper into one subject or expertise. And thankfully, we were both exactly on the same line on this one. That what we end up doing with our children is that we just keep telling them, keep focusing on one thing and become an expert. Keep diving deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So, dig deeper is what we teach the children. But what we forget is that innate feature of human brain, the elasticity it has. We need to also focus. In fact, we have to change the way we have been just working with one plan, one option, that's it, and broaden the spectrum of what the child experiences and make it more horizontal, so that rather than just becoming a total expert on one area, maybe they have explored 15, 20 different kinds of skills and become good at 4 5, if not expert. What it does is that it prepares your child for the future employment and skill based work. If your child can explore the same subject through various sensory organs horizontally, your child is going to be able to be flexible, be very, very adaptive to new learnings. And that's the kind of child we want to raise. Sitting here today with a big hit on economy, with a big hit on human health, we definitely have to prepare our children for the future, which is very, very versatile. Apart from being volatile, it is also very versatile. So let's give our children options to explore as much as they want to. And another thing that is uh, said by Osho again. So sometimes people ask you, how do I know if I am doing the right kind of parenting? Am I going in the right path? How do you answer that? Is there like a checklist or an Excel sheet in which we have to make some entries and it's going to calculate the final percentage of how good we are as parents? Unfortunately, there's not. So, how do I find out if I'm going on the right track or not? Of course, that question is faced by every mother at some or the other point. So, I'm going to go back and quote Osho again on this, is that our children's behavior is so expertly uh, something which shows us what we need to let go of within ourselves. I'll give you an example of exactly how this quote has been seen by me in real life. Is that while on an excursion, with another family, we decided to have the children take a go at the swimming pool. And this was when the children were really 4 year, 3 years old. So in India, we don't, where we live, where I live, especially, there are no beaches, so we don't really have regular access to the rivers or the beaches. So it's usually the swimming pools that we have. And one of the ladies was so scared of water herself and the pool herself because of her own childhood experiences, which I totally respect. Is that the minute the child stepped into water with his just walking into the water, she started clenching her fists. She was not saying a word. She started clenching her fists and started making those humming sounds like, no, 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 maybe you shouldn't go, but not in so many words. And one look by the child backward to her, to his mother's face, he just turned back out of the pool. That's what we do. So the exact behavior of our children is a proof, is a showcase of what we need to change in ourselves. What is it that we're not able to let go of? So I would say this is the best judge or self assessment, a way of self assessment for you as a parent. as a mother, as a parent. So this is where we are. So going back to, these are the parenting styles and what is a complete mother. I am going to leave it on to you. I am no one to tell you what is a complete mother, but of course, with my own experience of being a mother in 12 years, with my experience of being in the field of people development and transformation and training, and my own journey in the spiritual education and application fields, I am sharing my experiences. So from the time when science has proven that the change in the mental state of a mother while she's pregnant can influence the brain structures of the child in the womb. So it starts from that point on. And throughout the journey between a mother and a child, this thing carries on. From the time when the child is in the form of a fetus, connected through the, receiving chemical, biological, emotional signals through placenta. From that time onwards, to the eternity till the mother and child are around, this relationship, this thing actually works. The state of the mother influences the state of the child, yes, more so when they are physically intimately connected through a mother womb relationship. But as the child grows, it reduces sometimes, it doesn't reduce sometimes, but it impacts for sure. So that we have to remember. So we will formulate our parenting or motherhood around it, that whatever I am, whoever I am, is going to impact my child in one or the other way, directly or indirectly, through a ripple effect, my child and his own state of mind. So, of course, the mother is the first one with whom the child establishes an emotional connect, and the mother is the one that teaches by trusting the child. Imagine how the mother trusts the child. So, if we go back to the state of pregnancy and a mother is pregnant, she's trusting what's growing in my belly is given to me as a gift of God. So, that's it. Those vibrations of trust start right there. And the child is trusting wherever I am right now, whichever this place is, dark and slimy and completely, strange. I would trust this. This is my home. So that trusting of mutually trusting environment starts to get created from there. And when the child starts to grow, the way the mother takes care of the security of the child learns the sense of security from the mother. So I'm sorry to tell you that you would have to take a front seat when it comes to feeling secure more than the father, I would say. Well, like I said, there are no defined roles that who's going to do what. With COVID situation, everything has just been reversed and reshuffled. There are no fixed rules. Mother's going to do this and the father's. Everyone's just contributing towards everything. But yes, the sense of security that the mother gives to the child from the start teaches security to the child. And that's exactly what is going to help the child to provide the sense of security to others in his life. So that's where we are. Obviously, the mother is the first teacher. Everything starting from the language skills to the emotional skills to the walking skills to the talking skills to the connecting skills to the respecting, praying, cooking, eating, whatnot. Everything's brought into the life of the child by the mother. And slowly, 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 the child understands and makes the sense of this world with the help of the parents. The mother is the one that reads the non-verbal cues of the child for the rest of the life without failure. I've yet to meet a mother who can't. So without the child even being present in front of you, in expressing in so many words what they have to say, non-verbally, the mother can understand exactly how the child is feeling right now. So this is also something which I would not call magic, but this is how the connection between a mother and the child is. She's the first counselor of the child. She would also obviously for the rest of her life take the position. Don't lose that position, because the intent of the success and well-being of your child that you have as a mother or a father, of course, also nobody else is going to have that intent. So keep in the role of being the emotional backbone for your child for forever, for as long as you can, of course. So mothers are the first friends. They're the confidants. You have to. I'll give you one small technique and a small idea that I was able to implement with my own child. And I'm not saying that you have to do this, but for this idea, create your own way of, expression for your child. So ever since my child started speaking, I told him that anything that you feel you don't want, you're not able to tell me because you have made a mistake or you have faltered on something or you have not been in the right way of things, you can come to me and just cross your finger like this in front of me and say, Mom, I have a confession to make. Until the time your fingers are crossed, whatever you're going to say, I'm going to just listen to it and never scold you or judge you or say anything about it. I'm just going to be a listener. And the minute you open your hands, we forget about what you had said. So, giving that passage of expression to the child, promising them a non judgmental hearing. I'm not saying you have to do exactly this, but whatever works for you according to the age of your child, just create that completely open expression with your child. And I'm sure we're going to rock being the great mothers that we are. So on that note, I'd just like to say that a mother is someone who nourishes and is responsible and always takes the lead in making sure that from the body, heart, mind and soul, the child is well taken care of and grows only further and further. So on that note, I'd like to thank all of you for giving me this platform to share my thoughts and feelings and appreciate the mother that we all of us have regardless of where we're from. I feel motherhood is not being a female alone, but also a very instinctive element in each one of us. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for your beautiful and precious words to tell us about how to raise child who is complete mother, who you are mother and human beings. Journey of a mother, impact of a mother on child, bonding between mother and child. After listening your precious words, I came to know that you are a complete mother as well as all-rounder in every field. Yes, we have to prepare our child for future world. Thanks, ma'am, for your valuable time and precious word. Now, as we know, our mother tongue is Hindi. So, some mothers here whose mother tongue is Hindi. So, we are switching from English to Hindi. Here are some words. कुछ चंद लाइन में अपने कहना चाहता हूँ माँ के लिए. मैं मानती हूँ कि दुनिया का कोई भी रिश्ता छोटा या बड़ा नहीं होता. मैं मानती हूँ कि दुनिया का कोई भी रिश्ता छोटा या बड़ा नहीं होता, पर मेरी माँ के बराबर कोई खड़ा नहीं होता. मेरे इंतजार में खुली आंखों से बस वही सो सकती है. मेरी आंखों में खुली आंखों से बस वही सो सकती है. मेरे दुख में मुझसे ज्यादा वही रो सकती है. माथा चूम कर मुकद्दर बदल देने का जादू उसी को आता है. माथा चूम कर मुकद्दर बदल देने का जादू उसी को आता है. उसी का हाथ है कि थर्मामीटर से भी करेक्ट टेम्परेचर बताता है. मैंने मोहब्बत की तमाम किताबें पढ़ डाली. पहले पन्ने पर माँ का ही नाम लिखा था. पहले पन्ने पर माँ का ही नाम लिखा था. वो मुझ पर तब से जान देती है. वो मुझ पर तब से जान देती है जब मैं प्रेगनेंसी स्ट्रिप पर जब से मुझे प्रेगनेंसी स्ट्रिप पर लकीर बनते देखा था. हिसाब लगाकर देख लो दुनिया के हर रिश्ते में. हिसाब लगाकर देख लो दुनिया के हर रिश्ते में कुछ अधूरा आधा निकलेगा. बस एक माँ का प्यार है जो 9 महीने ज्यादा निकलेगा. जो 9 महीने ज्यादा निकलेगा. थैंक यू. इसी कड़ी को बताते हुए आज मैं बुलाना चाहूंगी एक ऐसी माँ को जो स्वदेश में दादी है और परदेश में नानी है। वह बहुत हेल्पिंग और एक केयरिंग मदर भी है। मैं बुलाना चाहूंगी श्रीमती मधुबाला जी को, जो हमारे बीच आई हैं दिल्ली एनसीआर से। श्रीमती मधुबाला जी।
जी, आदरणीय आदरणीय अतिथिगण एवं समस्त श्रोतागण, हैप्पी बर्थडे, हैप्पी बर्थडे, हैप्पी मदर्स डे। आज जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि आज मदर्स डे है, के उपलक्ष्य में हम लोग एकत्रित हुए हैं। मदर्स डे से संबंधित मैं अपने कुछ विचार रखना चाहती हूँ। माँ की परिभाषा क्या होती है? माँ की परिभाषा क्या होती है? जननी हमारे जीवन की सुख दुख की भोगी बन जाती है। ममता मई माँ में जग में वही कहलाती है। पाप ले जो हमारे सिर पर, कहे मुझे दंड दे दो, पर अपने बच्चों पर आँच न आने देती है। ममता मई माँ जग में वही सदैव कहलाती है। हमें कभी भी दुख ना दे, भर दे हमारा जीवन सुख से। ममता मई माँ जग में वह सदैव कहलाती है। इन्हीं पंक्तियों के साथ में मैं अब अपनी बात को शुरू करना चाहती हूँ। माँ एक सुखद अनुभूति है, वह एक शीतल आवरण है जो हमारे दुख और तकलीफ के तपिश को ही ढक देती है। माँ का जीवन हर लड़ाई को लड़ने की शक्ति देता रहता है। सच में शब्दों से परे है माँ की परिभाषा। सच में शब्दों से परे है माँ की परिभाषा। माँ बच्चों को स्वावलंबी बनाती है। माँ बच्चों को अलग तो करती है, परंतु उनकी सुरक्षा के प्रति हमेशा जागरूक भी रहती है एवं अपना ममत्व बनाए रखती है। बच्चे माँ के प्यार में रहकर सद्गुण, संस्कार, नम्रता, प्यार, प्रेम भी प्राप्त करते हैं। माँ बच्चों की पहली शिक्षिका भी होती है। माँ बच्चों की पहली शिक्षिका भी होती है। ऐसे दोस्त भी होती है। बच्चों को एक उम्र में माँ को दोस्त बनना भी बहुत जरूरी होता है। बच्चों की शिक्षा के समय कई उतार चढ़ाव आते हैं। बच्चों को शुरू से ही शिक्षा यही दी जाती है कि आपके जीवन में कैसी भी कठिनाई आए पर माँ से कोई बात को छुपाना नहीं चाहिए। माँ से हर बात को शेयर करना चाहिए। माँ को हर बात शेयर करना चाहिए। माँ से हर बात को शेयर करना चाहिए। माँ को भी बच्चों को हर बात को अच्छे से समझाना चाहिए। उनकी गलतियों पर डांटना नहीं चाहिए। उनको प्यार से समझाना चाहिए। हर मोड़ पर डटकर सामना करें। माँ हर हाल में बच्चों का हित ही चाहती है। आज के युग में बच्चे बहुत टेक्निक हो गए हैं। आज के युग में बच्चे बहुत टेक्निक हो गए हैं। बहुत सी बातें माँ नहीं समझ पाती है तो बच्चे माँ को बड़े प्यार से समझाते हैं। मम्मी आप भी मोबाइल चलाना सीखो, मम्मी आप भी मोबाइल चलाना सीखो, स्कूटी चलाना सीखो, यूट्यूब चलाना सीखो, आदि आदि वगैरह वगैरह। अगर बच्चे माँ को गाइड करते हैं तो इसमें कोई बुराई नहीं है। अगर बच्चे माँ को गाइड करते हैं तो उसमें कोई बुराई नहीं है। चाहिए कुछ बातें फायदे से रिलेटेड भी होती है और कुछ हमें फायदे भी मिलते हैं। मुझे इंग्लिश में ज्यादा गिटर-पिटर करना नहीं आता है। मैं कुछ गलत बोल देती हूँ। मैं मान लो कोई इंग्लिश के वर्ड गलत बोल देती हूँ तो मेरी बेटी और मेरी 9 साल की पोती है जिसका नाम अलंकृति है, वो कहती है मुझसे कि दादी ये वर्ड गलत बोल रहे हो आप, दादी ये वर्ड गलत बोल रहे हो। तो मुझे उससे बुरा नहीं लगता है। कोई बात नहीं, इन्हीं बच्चों से तो सीखेंगे। अब हम नई जनरेशन है, नई बात है, इसीलिए बहुत बच्चे माँ के बहुत लाडले होते हैं। मुझे कई बार मेरे बेटे बहुओं ने भी बोला कि माँ गाड़ी चलाना सीख लो, आप भी मम्मी आप भी गाड़ी चलाना सीखो। आप कहीं भी आप जा सकते हो आराम से, आपको अपने कुछ फायदे होंगे इससे। बुराई नहीं है, तो इसमें कोई बुराई नहीं है। यही तो माँ और बच्चों का दोस्ताना होता है। यही है माँ और बच्चों का दोस्ताना। बच्चों के साथ बैठकर गेम भी खेलना अच्छा लगता है। बच्चों के साथ बैठकर गेम भी खेलना अच्छा लगता है। बहुत अच्छा मैं एक दादी भी हूँ, माँ भी हूँ और साथ में नानी भी हूँ। मैं माँ भी हूँ, दादी भी हूँ और साथ में नानी भी हूँ। आजकल बच्चों की तरह इंग्लिश बोल नहीं पाते हैं। छोटे बच्चे कहानियां सुनाकर संस्कारित भी कर सकती हूँ। अब आती है बच्चों को मोटिवेट करने के बाद। तुम किसी दूसरे बच्चों से कम नहीं हो। मैं बच्चों से कहती हूँ कि तुम किसी बच्चों से कम नहीं हो। तुम्हारे साथ मैं खड़ी हूँ, किसी बात की चिंता नहीं करना, हिम्मत के साथ आगे बढ़ो। फिर बच्चे थोड़े बड़े हो जाते हैं तो थोड़ा अंतर्मुखी हो जाते हैं, कुछ संकुचित हो जाते हैं, कुछ बात बताना नहीं चाहते हैं मन की। तो माँ को बड़े प्यार से और उन्हें अच्छे से समझाना चाहिए, ना कि बहस करना और उनके ऊपर शंका करना चाहिए। बच्चों को प्रेम और स्नेह के साथ समझा कर पूछना चाहिए। यदि प्रेम और स्नेह के साथ यही एक माँ का कर्तव्य बनता है। बच्चों पर भी माँ का विश्वास होना चाहिए और माँ को भी बच्चों पर होना चाहिए। इससे आती है आपसी रिश्तों की, इसके बाद आती है आपसी रिश्तों की बात। तो माँ का रिश्ता बड़ा अनमोल होता है, बच्चों के साथ माँ का रिश्ता बड़ा अनमोल होता है। कहते हैं दीवार पर एक फ्रेम टंगी होती है, कहते हैं दीवार पर एक फ्रेम टंगी हुई होती है, उसे प्रतिमा कहते हैं या स्टैचू भी कहते हैं, उसे स्टैचू भी कहते हैं या प्रतिमा भी कहते हैं। प्रतिमा मतलब हर माँ में भगवान का रूप होता है, हर बच्चा माँ में भगवान का रूप देखता है। इसीलिए बच्चों से वो हर चीज का ध्यान रखती है। इसीलिए उन्हें धन्यवाद और आदर देने के लिए वर्ष का एक दिन समर्पित किया गया है, जिसे हर साल हम मातृ दिवस के रूप में मनाते हैं। वो बच्चों को एक अच्छा इंसान बनाती है। हमारे लिए माँ बहुत खास होती है। हम सब माँ को बहुत बहुत प्यार करते हैं। बिना माँ के हमारा जीवन कुछ भी नहीं है, बिना माँ के हमारा जीवन कुछ भी नहीं है। माँ के पास ढेर सारी जिम्मेदारियां होती है, वो लगातार बिना रुके थके निभाती है। हम उनके योगदान के बदले उन्हें कुछ भी वापस नहीं कर सकते हैं। हालांकि हम उन्हें एक बड़ा सा धन्यवाद कह सकते हैं, माना कि हम उन्हें एक बड़ा धन्यवाद कह सकते हैं, साथ ही उन्हें सम्मान भी दे सकते हैं, साथ ही उन्हें सम्मान भी दे सकते हैं, ध्यान रखे और उनका ध्यान भी रख सकते हैं। इसके साथ ही मैं कुछ पंक्तियां कहकर अपनी बात को विराम देना चाहती हूँ, अपनी बात को विराम देना चाहती हूँ। माँ रुके तो चांद जैसी, माँ रुके तो चांद जैसी, माँ चले तो हवा जैसी, माँ चले तो हवा जैसी, माँ धूप में भी चले तो छाँव जैसी होती है, माँ धूप में भी चले तो छाँव जैसी होती है। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद श्रीमती माधुवाला जी, आपके विचार बहुत ही सुंदर तरह से आपने प्रस्तुत किए हैं। आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा, शेयरिंग और केयरिंग और मोटिवेट करना बच्चों के लिए आज के जीवन में बहुत जरूरी है। यही कड़ी है जो बच्चों को माँ के आगे रखती है और माँ की एक परिवार की धुरी होती है। रिश्ते माँ और बच्चों के बीच के रिश्तों में एक खुलापन होना चाहिए, एक निडरता होनी चाहिए, एक प्रेम भावना होनी चाहिए, जिससे हम अपनी बात उन्हें कह सकें और उनकी बातों को हम समझ सकें। इसी कड़ी को आगे बढ़ाते हुए मैं कुछ कहना चाहूंगी माँ के लिए। माँ त्याग तपस्या है, सेवा है। माँ त्याग है, तपस्या है, सेवा है। माँ का चार धाम है। माँ का जीवन में कोई पर्याय नहीं है, माँ का जीवन में कोई पर्याय नहीं है। माँ जैसा दुनिया में कुछ हो नहीं सकता, माँ जैसा कुछ दुनिया में हो नहीं सकता। इस कड़ी को आगे बढ़ाते हुए मैं प्रस्तुत करना चाहूंगी एक ऐसी माँ को जिसका नाम है ज्योति, और यह है राजस्थान से। इनकी हॉबी है रीडिंग एंड मीटिंग पीपल। इन्होंने ब्यूटिशियन डायटिशियन के क्षेत्र में बड़ा काम बना किया है। वर्तमान में न्यूट्रिशन क्षेत्र में बहुत अच्छा काम कर रही है। साथ ही लोगों को आत्मनिर्भर बनाने के लिए मिशन स्वावलंबन से जुड़ी हुई है। इनकी शिक्षा बीकॉम है। इनके पास लगभग 5,000 महिलाओं का नेटवर्क है, जो कि इनके मार्गदर्शन में लगातार मिशन स्वावलंबन पर कार्य करते हैं। ये सच्चे मायने में महिलाओं को आत्मनिर्भर बनाने के लिए सतत प्रयासरत है। तो मैं बुलाना चाहूंगी श्रीमती ज्योति को।
थैंक यू सो मच विभूति गुप्ता जी। और मैं सभी आए जितने भी अतिथि हैं, मैं उन सभी का बहुत बहुत स्वागत करती हूँ। साथ ही मैं अपना स्क्रीन शेयरिंग कर रही हूँ। एक छोटा सा प्रेजेंटेशन अपनी माँ के लिए और हर उस माँ के लिए जो यहाँ पर हैं। तो शुरू करती हूँ मैं। मैम आप मेरी स्क्रीन दिख पा रही है?
यस यस, दिखती है।
ओके, थैंक यू सो मच। आप सभी का बहुत बहुत स्वागत करती हूँ। आप सभी का बहुत बहुत स्वागत करती हूँ। जो भी अतिथिगण है मेरे, डॉक्टर रीशु जैन, दरक्षा एंड दुरु रेगिना और साथ में गरिमा वर्मा मैम का, मैं इन सभी साथियों का स्पेशली थैंक्स बोलना चाहूंगी कि आज मुझे यहाँ पर बोलने का मौका दिया। और जैसे कि आप देख पा रहे हैं, मैं अपनी मम्मा से बहुत प्यार करती हूँ क्योंकि वो ही मेरी इंस्पिरेशन है अपने जीवन में। अगर मैं आज कहीं पर भी हूँ तो वो सिर्फ मैं अपनी मम्मी की वजह से ही हूँ। हैप्पी वुमेन्स डे। जिस घर में माँ खुले मन से मुस्कुराती है, उस घर में खुशियां दौड़ी चली आती है। जी हाँ साथियों, इस संसार में माँ को सबसे ऊंचा दर्जा दिया गया है। माँ को भगवान से भी ऊपर माना गया है। अंततः संसार में माँ की तुलना किसी से भी नहीं की जा सकती है। जिस तरह से अगर हम बात करें जन्नत का फूल, तो जन्नत के फूल से मैं एक ही बात बोलना चाहूंगी, माँ तो जन्नत का फूल है, प्यार करना उसका उसूल है। दुनिया की मोहब्बत फिजूल है, माँ की हर दुआ कबूल है। माँ को नाराज करना इंसान तेरी भूल है। माँ के कदमों की मिट्टी जन्नत की धूल है। हर साल हम मदर्स डे मनाते हैं। कोई माँ बोलता है, मम्मी बोलता है, माता जी, आई, कई नामों से माँ पहचानी जाती है। नामों में छिपा प्यार एक ही है। माँ के आंचल में 100% ममता ही ममता। हमारी कोई भी परेशानियां उससे छिपी नहीं है। ना जाने वो बिना कहे ही सब कुछ कैसे जान जाती है। माँ इतनी प्यारी होती है, माँ का नाम लेते ही आंखों में एक अलग सी चमक आ जाती है। इतनी बात शुरू करने से पहले मैं उनके बारे में कहना चाहती हूँ कि जिसको नहीं देखा हमने कभी, पर उसकी नजर जरूरत क्या होगी। ए माँ तेरी खूबसूरत से अलग भगवान की सूरत क्या होगी। भगवान का दूसरा नाम है माँ। हर जगह भगवान का जाना संभव नहीं है, इसीलिए उसने माँ को बना दिया। बेशक समय कितना ही बदल जाए, बेशक समय कितना ही बदल जाए, पर हमारे देश में संस्कार और संस्कृति ऐसे हैं कि माँ का प्यार न कभी बदला है, न कभी बदलेगा। माँ हमारी सबसे बड़ी ताकत है। आज हम माँ को देखें तो हमारी सबसे बड़ी ताकत माँ है। प्रेम और स्नेह का दूसरा नाम ही माँ है। माँ की ममता, प्यार और स्नेह को प्राप्त करने के लिए ईश्वर को भी धरती पर आना पड़ा, ईश्वर को भी धरती पे जन्म लेना पड़ा। माँ से बड़ा दयालु और परोपकारी कोई नहीं है आज तक, और ना ही कोई रहेगा इस धरती तक। जैसे कि यहाँ प्रेजेंटेशन में आप देख रहे हैं, माँ सर पर जो हाथ फेरे, जो हिम्मत मिले जाए। माँ एक बार मुस्कुरा दे तो जन्नत मिल जाए। माँ ही हमारा गुरु होती है। वह हमें अच्छी शिक्षा देती है, हमें देश का एक अच्छा नागरिक बनाती है और हमारे असफलता और सफलता दोनों समय में हमारे साथ खड़ी रहती है। हमारे निराश होने पर भी आशा की एक किरण बनकर हमारे हौसले को बढ़ा देती है और हमारा मार्गदर्शन करती रहती है। क्या करूं मैं माँ की व्याख्या, क्या करूं मैं माँ की व्याख्या, माँ की व्याख्या करने की ताकत किसी भी कलम में नहीं है, क्योंकि माँ को शब्दों में बयां ही नहीं किया जा सकता है। आइए अपनी माँ का प्यार पाएं, आत्मविश्वास के साथ घर व बाहरी दुनिया में अपना एक वजूद बनाएं। हैप्पी मदर्स डे। आप अगेंस्ट इसी के साथ में आइए लेते हैं एक शपथ, आइए लेते हैं एक शपथ कि हम बनाएंगे अपनी माँ को आधुनिक मदर। कारण सिर्फ एक है कि आज के समय जो भी महिला साथी अपने जीवन में बड़ी कामयाबी लेती है, या कोई भी साथी अगर बड़ी कामयाबी लेता है, तो कारण उसके संस्कार होते हैं, उसके आचार होते हैं, उसके विचार होते हैं। जो बचपन में उन्होंने सीखे हैं वो आज उस आज यहाँ तक लेकर आ पाए हैं। तो मैं सिर्फ इतना ही बोलना चाहूंगी और प्लीज हैंड ओवर करना चाहूंगी अपने माइक को श्री विभूति गुप्ता को।
धन्यवाद ज्योति, बहुत ही अच्छा आपने बताया। एक इसी में एक और चीज मैं जोड़ना चाहूंगी कि सारी दुनिया छोटी पड़ जाती है, सारी दुनिया छोटी पड़ जाती है, लेकिन भगवान का घर और माँ का आंचल कभी छोटा नहीं पड़ता। माँ का घर, माँ का आंचल कभी छोटा नहीं पड़ता।
और
बहुत ही अच्छा। हाँ बोलिए, आप बोलिए।
जी विभूति मैम, एक चीज और मैं इसमें ऐड करना चाहूंगी, अपनी पंक्तियों को पूरा करने के साथ में विराम देना चाहूंगी। माँ सारी गलतियों को वो माफ कर देती है, बहुत गुस्सा में होकर भी प्यार करती है, उसके होठों पे हमेशा दुआ होती है, ऐसा करने वाली सिर्फ और सिर्फ माँ होती है। थैंक यू सो मच। ओवर टू विभूति मैम।
बिल्कुल सही कहा आपने। माँ के बराबर कोई हो ही नहीं सकता। आपने संस्कार और संस्कृति के बारे में जो बताया है कि मैं बच्चों को क्या देना चाहिए और कैसा होना चाहिए बच्चों का संस्कार, तो उसी कड़ी में आगे बढ़ते हुए मैं बुलाना चाहूंगी दक्षा फ्रॉम बॉस्टन यूएसए। शी इज RFI ग्लोबल एम्बेसडर यूएसए। मिसेस दक्षा साकल्ले फ्रॉम बॉस्टन। मिसेस दक्षा, आई थिंक वो कनेक्ट नहीं हो पाई है। इसी कड़ी को हम आगे बढ़ाते हुए चलते हैं। मांग लो यह मन्नत, मांग लो यह मन्नत कि फिर यही जहां मिले, फिर वही गोद मिले और फिर वही माँ मिले। ये सभी की यही आशा होगी। और आज आप सबने इतना अच्छा माँ के बारे में कहा है, जिससे हमें नई नई बातें जानने को मिली, नए नए विचार जानने को मिले। अब जो कड़ी छूट गई थी स्टार्टिंग में, मिसेस रेशु जैन मैडम, मिसेस रेशु जैन मैडम, स्टार्टिंग में हम आपसे कनेक्ट नहीं हो पाए थे। Who is the young and charming? Yes, you are the young and charming president of RFI. I would like to invite you to say a few words regarding the Mother's Day celebration and regarding the activities of RFI. Please welcome Reshu Jain.
Thank you, Vibhuti Madam, for such a nice introduction. First of all, I would like to thank our chief guest, Ms. Duru Regina Nigozi Madam. Such an eye-opening statement she said, and she mentioned everything what we should follow in our life as a mother, as a woman, and as a friend of our children. And secondly, I would like to thank Mrs. Garima Verma Madam. She said about our relation with our children and how to deal with our children, how to control our emotions, how to share our experience with our children, and such a great words. Thank you, Verma Madam. As we all know, today is a Mother's Day. So first of all, I would like to congratulate every mother and every person who has a mother element. Everyone know from the childhood. As I can see, I have a 3-year-old kid and I see him. He is also carrying his dolls and his teddies like a mother. He is treating them like a mother. So I can say in this world, each person has this mother element, what Verma Madam said. Like everyone who is male or female, everyone in this world has this quality of motherhood. So Sure, no words can describe our gratitude or thanks for our mothers. Mother is a most precious gift to us from the Almighty. We should thank our mother for being a constant support and guide for what we are today. Mother, we can say she is the first teacher for us, she is the first guide, mentor, or of course, first friend of every kid. Even now also, I am a kid for my mother and as well as for my mother-in-law also. So I can say mother is a pure relation which everyone has. So I can say uh, like Madhuwala Gupta madam said, कि we are learning from our kids also. So mother is a good listener plus good student also. She added a new definition in this, the new word in this era, like mother is a good student also for their children. As God could not have been present everywhere in the world, might be because of this, He created mother to overcome this loss. So, from this platform, I would like to take opportunity to thank my mother for everything, whatever she has done ever for me. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone who is presented here and my chief guest, Verma Madam, our chairman, CEO, Dr. Saurabh Jain, our chief managing director, Dr. Ashok Kumar Gupta ji, and all board members and officers of RFI. Thank you so much for managing this webinar on the topic of Mother's Day. And thank you so much, Vibhuti Madam, for managing this beautiful concept in this kind of conference. Over to you, Madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shriman. Thanks for your kind words. And yes, mother is a very precious gift God has given to us. Mother are selfless, shower unconditional love on their children and sacrifice all their needs for their families, starting from feeding us to teaching us. Manners, our mothers do it all for us. Now, at the end, I would like to thank all the stakeholders of this webinar. First, I would like to thank RFI Chairman, Dr. Saurabh Jain sir, who has given permission for conducting this beautiful online event. I would like to thank Professor Dr. Ashok Kumar Gupta sir, CMD RFI, for giving his full support for organizing this webinar. I thank Dr. Sarita Raman, President Noida, for her support. I thank Team RFI, all the guests, resource persons, dignitaries, and participants. At last, I want to say a few words for mother. कि मैं माँ के बारे में क्या लिखूं, मैं माँ के बारे में क्या लिखूं, जिस माँ ने मुझे खुद लिखा है उस माँ के बारे में क्या लिखें. Thanks. Now the session is over. Thanks for all the guests who speak such a beautiful and valuable words and give their precious time to all of us. Thanks once again to all of you.
Yes, ma'am. Are we going to get an e-certificate?
Ma'am, I'll told you later.
Yes, because yes. You haven't sent the feedback link also. I would appreciate if you would give us an e-certificate because we have sat for 2 hours.
Yeah. You will get.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Namaskar. Thank you.